then what happens with the rest of the world is that we don't have any space for any kind of development, because you need to industrialize, and that's going to mean you are going to throw some greenhouse gas emissions to the atmosphere. But if that's already occupied, then whatever you do goes against that. So that is one problem. The second issue is, for us, climate debt means to recognize that we have a debt not only with humankind, but also with nature, with Mother Earth. Now, how do you repair, how do you pay that debt to Mother Earth? We say by recognizing the rights of Mother Earth, with the goal to reestablish harmony with our nature. The third component is the debt with the migrants. We're going to have between 200 and 1,000 migrants in the next years. And then we have the debt of adaptation and development for developing countries, excuse me. Because instead of spending money for health, for education, we have to spend money in order to attend natural disasters.
I identified you as the UN ambassador from Bolivia, but in fact you're really Bolivia's only ambassador right now in the United States when you're there, because the U.S. tossed out the Bolivia's ambassador to the United States. Explain why.
Because we expelled the ambassador of the United States when here there was some kind of coup d'etat in different regions in order to split the
Particularly
country.
in Santa Cruz.
Particularly in Santa Cruz, but we had a massacre in Pando, and they almost took the city of Trinidad in Beni. So we said, of course we respect Americans, and we don't have nothing against the American people, but we don't want any kind of interference of any government in our political internal affairs. So that is the main reason why we expel the ambassadors. And we hope that the government of the United States now will seek to have a relation that is respectful, and that we will respect your sovereignty, and of course the government of the United States will respect our sovereignty.
In terms of the UN conferences on climate change, you had Copenhagen, you're going to have Mexico. No one planned on this one. This was called by President Morales of Bolivia.
Yes.
How do you plan to have any kind of effect? I mean, true, thousands of people are going to attend. You expect some presidents, some world leaders, like who do you expect will be here?
For example, there are, until now we are going to have the representatives of governments of about 54 nations. Some are going to come at presidential level, some at ministerial level, some at special envoys, and some at ambassadors. When it comes to heads of state, we're going to have from Ecuador, from Nicaragua, from Paraguay, from Venezuela, from Dominica, and I don't want to forget any other countries, but at least for other 3 or 4.
But this is not a binding summit. So
No.
What is the point?
What is the point? To organize us. We need to organize a worldwide coalition of social movements, of networks, of NGOs, in order to, all of them, with different perspectives, maybe in Asia, Africa, Europe, or here in Latin America, but all with a common purpose: how we are going to save the future of humankind and of our Mother Earth by trying to have enough force in order to press developed governments to have a really commitment to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions.
Will the United States be sending a delegation?
It is the only country, and I may say, that has sent a letter saying that they are not going to send any delegate to this conference.
So what response do you have to that?
Oh, it is a pity, because we are very open. We invited the 192 governments. We didn't do what they did in Copenhagen, because in Copenhagen they did only a meeting with about 25 to 29 presidents, and they didn't invite the rest. We invite everybody because we want to dialogue with everybody. But the most important thing is that we're going to have about 500 persons coming from the United States to this conference, representatives and leaders from different social movements and civil society of the United States. And that, for us, is the main thing.
We're going to have to leave it there. Pablo
Okay.
Solon, the Bolivian ambassador to the United Nations, joining us in Tikipaya where the global conference, the Global Summit on Climate Change, is taking place. That does it for our show. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Sharifa Dokadus, Aaron Mate, Angelique Kamet, Steve Martinez, Nicole Salazar, Hani Massoud, Robbie Karen. Special thanks to Dennis Moynihan, Andres Thomas Contreras, and Maria Eva, and our crew here in Bolivia, Luis Guarani, Cesar Virtiz, Marcuz Rubin, Martin Santos Flores, and Juan Carlos Cuba Vargas. We also want to thank Mike DeFilico, Peter Curries, Miguel Noguera, and Rebecca Staley, Julie Crosby, Karen Minucci, Hugh Grant, Samantha Chambly, John Gerberg. I'm Amy Goodman. We're broadcasting from Cochabamba. Tell your friends. Go to our website, democracynow.org. Broadcasting live from Bolivia.